to my bathroom. Happy almost Halloween. This shower curtain was a whole thing with my family this past 2 weeks. We like couldn't find it, and it was in a Christmas box, which we found it. I just was like, let's look one more time. I hate losing things. Like, I don't lose things, so I was like, I know it's here. So we found her. I love her. She's one of those Martha Stewart. I love Martha Stewart's take on the holidays. It's always cute and tasteful and not too cheesy, but these bats are like puffy. But anyways, hi, welcome to a vlog. This morning's already been a whole morning. I tried a different schedule today. Yesterday and kind of Mondays lately have been like my days to kind of plan out the week, plan out content, think of content, ideas, all that for defined style. And so coming into Tuesday, I kind of have my whole week planned out for me, / we have a lot of stuff like post work this week. So today I got up and I did the gym at like 6:30, which was actually really nice. That's back to how I used to do it. So I might try doing that this week and just see if I like that rhythm, because it helped me have so much done before I even started my work day, and I really liked that. So I put a tan on last night, went to the gym with my tan not washed off. I just did like a loose t-shirt. And if you know, you know, like sometimes you just have to do that. And then I came back and washed my hair, which I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to like do your shower where you like wash off your tan or your color guard and wash your hair, but like it had to happen today because tonight is the Jonas Brothers concert and I am so excited. And my hair was super greasy and I was like, I'm trying hard not to do a lot of slick back looks. I'm trying to like do my natural curls and like, you know, just help my hair. And I dye my hair more blonde, so like really trying to help the health of my hair, all the things. But I wanted to start the vlog. I actually didn't know if I was going to come back to vlogging at all, and I want to chat about all of that while I do my makeup. So let me go grab my makeup bag and we're gonna chat about it. You all know I have my like beauty counter thing in there, but I don't have like a good place to just get ready. So I've been putting my like everyday makeup in a bag and just getting ready here in the bathroom. Anyways, I didn't know if I was gonna come back to vlogging because I wanted to put a little bit more time and energy into the podcast and into Define. We'll see if that hair falls down. I have little baby hairs. Into Define and yeah, because I am one person, like I've talked about on the vlogs before. And I was just also like, when am I like showing that's exciting? But it dawned on me, I was like, well, it's still kind of nice to show like more of the behind the scenes, because I am doing so much more. Most of my content, if not all my content, is Define and podcast related. And it's not a lot of like personal stuff, like my just Molly stuff. So it might be nice to have this as more of that, is my thinking. So we're going to try it out. We're going to see how it fits into the week. But today's and this week's kind of fun and busy and scheduled out. So I feel like I can try to bring you along in the fun parts. I'm going to start with, I've been loving combining these two as my base. It's actually been really pretty. Both these alone are great, but something about putting them together has been just gorgeous. I bought these Jonas Brothers tickets, I guess a year ago or so, less. And I knew I was taking Evan, and Evan's like not a, I guess he's not a Jonas Brothers fan, but like I introduced him to their music, and I'm just so excited for him to well, me too. I've never seen them live, so I'm excited to see them in person, but I'm just excited to take Evan into that world. And I just think it's gonna be so fun. I have no idea who's gonna be their guest. And I had, like, my hope and wish is, like, really big, and I'll share it. I think it'd be really cool if they brought out Miley. Hear me out. Because of the song that they sing with her. Or is it the one she sings with Nick? Before the Storm. Before the Storm. That's the song I'm talking about. I knew it was like one of their slow ballads. It's one of those songs that you know you haven't listened to in a minute, but as soon as it plays, you're gonna know every single word. Yes. I think the last time I vlogged, we had just gotten up the curtains, and Ev and I have really loved having those up. It kind of just adds texture to like a room. I don't know, it helps make it cozy. I still don't know that I want it for like all the windows. Because it kind of can just make a room feel heavy. So I'm not just like quickly trying to do the other windows now, but it is nice to have for the dining room window to just break it up from the rest of the windows. But I also, after I got that up, I redid the living room a little bit. I like moved some furniture around. When it starts getting this time of the year, I start planning in my head where a Christmas tree is gonna go, and that was my thinking. I was like, wait, how we have the current living room set up, a Christmas tree doesn't really work in here. So I was like, let me move some stuff around and see if we can figure this out. So I'll have to show you all that. Our microwave broke. Our like handle broke, which like Ev has had these appliances since he's had this house. So like super grateful they've lasted that long, and we kind of knew that it could go anytime, but I mean, you'll know how microwaves are. They're plastic and all of that, but we got a new one. We went to this like appliance outlet store and we got one that doesn't even have a handle. I think we were so over handles after that last one that we were like, let's try one without a handle. And so we got, I'll have to show you that, but we installed it ourselves on Sunday, and it was so funny. I was posting on my Instagram story that I feel like it was like an initiation to marriage, doing that with your partner. But I did so much like just grunt work and things like that when I worked at Anthro, that I'm just used to kind of just, you gotta just get it done. And I also am not scared of a drill or anchoring into walls. So no, it's like, I know, just let me hold the drill, you hold up the microwave, all will be well. So yeah, that was kind of our weekend, and we had to get a new washer as well. That's what started the whole thing. We were washing clothes on Friday. The washer started smoking, and it was the wildest thing. But again, it's one of those things, Ev's had it since he's been in this house, so very grateful it lasted as long as it did. Got my dream washer. We'll hopefully get the dream dryer pair later. It's one of those things where it's like, our dryer's not dead yet, so we're just gonna, with our appliances, kind of what we chatted about. I don't know if anyone else has been in this situation or is currently in this situation. It's like, we're just gonna let them die and we'll just like change them out one at a time. Just feels like the wisest thing to do, because they slowly are, and I would hate to like spend money on one thing and then something else dies and it's like, oh my gosh. So that's our thought process. But we think our next thing is a fridge, because this current one is leaking. All the house stuff, guys. Sorry. On the podcast side, I have, for the month of October, been doing Define Style Takeover, which is just kind of me being honest, seeing how it would be to have more of a fashion podcast. I've been finding that the weeks before doing the Define Style Takeover, that it felt very like me-centered, which some people are really good at doing that and talking about those things and having like funny stories and things like that to share. And I feel like that wasn't where my cup of tea is. So I was trying to, move things around, figure things out, have fun. Like, pick something that's like actually really fun for me to talk about, because I do love doing the podcast. I find it very, very fun. But I was like, what is like more aligned with my passion and kind of where I want to head, even with Define Style. And so I actually changed the name of Define to Define Style within the last week, just to kind of help narrow it down a little bit so you kind of know what you're getting on the page. And so yeah, it's been really fun to do that on the podcast and just talk about fashion and talk about how dressing your body affects you and like the mental behind it all. And I want to get into that more as the weeks go on, but it's just been really fun to do and kind of do more of a topic that I think is helpful and pairs with what I do over on Define. So yeah, it's been really fun. For today, I'm going to go in with my blush. I've been loving these Merit blushes. Stockholm and Le Bon Bon. Beautiful. Also, all the colors are stunning. But I'm going to go in with both of them. But for today, what's going down is I'm getting ready now, and we're going to film my styling reel for this week and going to film my mini coffee chat. I fell upon an idea last week. I was about to make my afternoon coffee, and I was like, you know what? This is the most Molly thing. Instead of in a reel be in my closet and talking about fashion and like having my coffee, let's like flip it on its head and let's make my coffee and have more of a little like chat. A little bit more of a casual kind of thing. And I want to make another one, so we're going to do that. I pulled some fall, like a neutral capsule in a way, fall wardrobe. And then I'm going to do like pop of color accessories. And kind of break down that. And it's been fun to have a rhythm for Define. Like, I've been doing a styling notice, I've been doing trend styling reel or a styling breakdown, this mini coffee chat. I do Friday fashion screenshots, which is one of my favorites. And then over on the podcast, we break all those down because there's so much to chat about in those and only so much you can put into your reel or your description box. And so that's been really fun to actually do. And I love it. And I love the little world we're creating over there. So come hang out if that sounds fun. I feel like it's fun to have a place that you can just kind of like maybe zone out or like turn on a podcast that's kind of about, like, we do talk about deeper things, but it's also just fun. It's about clothes and like fashion, and I don't know, you gotta have some podcasts that are a little bit more lightweight, and so that's my goal with that, while also kind of bringing in the conversation of this last podcast. I talked about dressing for yourself and not others, and I kind of put it at the end, and I wasn't even planning on going into that, but it just felt like the opportune time to talk about it. It's stuff like that that I kind of want to empower through Define Style. Is like, you do dress for yourself, or if you don't right now, like, what would that look like? And do you need to have like conversations with yourself or with your partner about it? I've been in those situations. I've also worked with customers that are in those situations, and it's just like, it's one of those things that's like important, and you'll feel so much lighter when you change that. And I kind of said a little snippet of it on the podcast, but I was in a relationship where I dressed for that person for attention because I wasn't getting it, and it like showed. And yeah, it's just like, I'm just being honest and sharing kind of where I've been in that, and also being on the other side of it where like Evan and I have conversations where it's like, well, he also met me post that relationship. So like he knew my independency in that, but he also never wanted to control that. But like after I posted that, we were having a conversation about it, and he was like, yeah, I mean, you wear whatever you want. And I'm like, exactly. But when I call you and ask you, what was funny is after that podcast, I had ran over to the mall because I kind of just wanted to, sometimes I can just be in the house the whole week creating, and sometimes it's good to just get out. And I was like, let me just go to the mall, go walk around. And I ran into Abercrombie and I tried on some jeans, and I called him and I was like, it's so funny I'm doing this right after I filmed the podcast talking about like you dress for yourself. But what I wasn't saying is like you can still ask your husband or whatever like for opinions, but it's like how weighty are they, slash like does your husband know kind of like what he can speak to and what he can't. And I had on, of course, two of the three I tried on were like tighter or whatever. He was like, no, those actually look more like you. Like it was speaking more to my personality, which I appreciated. So that's a little bit more behind the scenes of when I was talking about that in the podcast, what I was talking about. Then I felt like empowered to make my own decision between the three of them. One of them was a barrel, and then two of them were, I think they were called like a 90s relaxed or something like that, but they were like tighter up here and kind of tight on my thighs and then went straight down. But I felt empowered to make that decision on my own and not hearing my husband say like, well, like these are the ones I like, you know, or like your butt looks the best in these. And anyways, I guess that's kind of controversial, but it's also like, but I don't think it is. It's like if you're a woman and have been in a relationship, I feel like you've experienced that, whether it's the one side or the other or kind of in the middle. And I also want to normalize that conversation. I remember being in that other relationship and some things not knowing kind of what was normal and what wasn't. And so I feel like it's good to talk about, or at least what I want to talk about, through defined style as well. And that just being one of our mission is like you're empowered to make those choices for yourself. So yeah. It's funny that I have this shower curtain. There was a time when I was living in my childhood home, and we had this huge attic, and that house was old. And we didn't know, but there was a hole in our chimney. And if you've ever lived in an older home or any time there's a hole, like critters will get in. You have a hole, they're gonna get in. And I remember I was in my room and we would go in and out of this attic. Like it was very normal. It was right, like if this is my room upstairs, like the attic door was like right there. So like it was normal for us to open that door, put stuff in there, whatever. And I remember it was Christmas break. Like my brother was home. He was in his room. And I was sitting in my bedroom and something flew over me. I screamed. And I like screamed and ran down the stairs, and my brother like came out into his room, and we ended up discovering, long story short, that we had bats in our attic. And so we had someone come and like get them out. He didn't kill them. He like put them in a bucket, and I saw them all. It was crazy how many like were in a bucket, and we filled that hole. Thankfully we learned there was a hole. And they like cleaned it all, whatever, it filled the hole. And he went and released them in the wild. But to this day, my mom's like, are you sure you like want to put that up? Like, you know, you and bats and your like trauma around them. And I was like, you know what? This is me working through it. But also my favorite movies / my favorite superhero is Batman. And so I think more about that instead of about the bat that flew over me in my room. So yeah. Another thing that's been new in the past few days, if you follow me, I put out this on my stories, but I've been in my Instagram Discover page meals era. One of my best friends and I send recipes back and forth a lot, and so my Discover page has become meals, and so I have been finding some on there and making them for Evan and I, and they are so good. It's such a good place to grab recipes from. I'm such a visual person, so I love seeing the process and the recipe just being in the caption. It's so easy. But yeah, Evan and I eat chicken, rice, and broccoli. Like, keep it really chill and easy. So going into the fall, I was like, I'm gonna need to switch it up just a little bit. Like, it's time for me to have more of my like soups, stews, curries, which is some of the same like ingredients as chicken, rice, and broccoli. So I kind of just do that, but do it a little different. So far, I made the dumplings that you put in the like coconut milk and curry paste in a baking dish, and then you do it in the oven. That one was really good. I didn't care for the dumplings we got. I think I want to try a different brand. But other than that, like the sauce that was in the bottom and then you put spinach on top, so good. And then yesterday I did like a baked chicken in the oven, and then I added spinach and carrots into the Dutch oven like right before they were done. And it was so good. It's been a nice little find and something different. I don't know. Every now and again I gotta like switch it up. We love a routine over here, but sometimes we gotta find a new routine. Okay, before I start filming, I want to show y'all the few things I did that I was talking about in the last vlog. So here is the cutie little towel bar that I changed out our toilet paper roll, so they all match now. And then I put in this one as well. It's actually kind of really cool that it has two. I put my, those things you put on your wrist, and then the towel thing is there. But you also can like swing it out and have it here instead. It kept hitting the mirror, so it made me nervous. And then here is what I changed in the living room. There's a cushion over there that's looking crazy. I feel like it opened up a little bit more. And then potentially like the tree is there. I love a tree in a window. I think it's really cozy. So that's what we did. This is just real life. Someone's clearly been sitting there, so I'll go fix that in a minute. Here's our newest addition, the microwave. Adult things. How cool. And you open it on the side and she's there. So yeah, it's actually really nice. And there's not a door handle to break off. So win-win. But yeah, that is what I've changed in the house since I saw y'all last. So I am going to set up this camera for our reel and get going. And I will check in here in a little bit. We've got to, at some point, figure out what we're gonna wear tonight. I'm sad I didn't get a old, like, Jonas Brothers vintage, like, tee ordered on Depop. I did that for Ed Sheeran, and it was so fun, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world. But yeah, so I'm gonna pick up some things, get this thing pushed over, and start filming. Hi guys. I just made my afternoon coffee and filmed my mini coffee chat that I post over on Define Style, so go check that out. I also filmed my styling reel and filmed a quick help me choose my outfit for the Jonas Brothers concert reel. I'll already have gone to the concert by the time this is going up, but that's what I've been doing. I clearly need to go get a straw and swirl that around, but I want to check in, say hey. I'm about to help Evan film, and then I'm gonna pause, and that will probably be my time to just make sure I got everything done. I'm trying to kind of schedule everything that needs to go up tomorrow today so that hopefully I'm gonna sleep in a little bit because I bet we won't get home till like 11. So I'm trying to just help my future self, and then we'll start getting ready for the concert. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm trying to also make sure I have like so much water because I did do a double shot, and normally in the afternoon I have either been doing a single shot or going and getting a decaf coffee. So I hope I'm not hurting myself, but that's what we're doing. And yeah, let me show y'all the outfits that I am thinking between for the concert, just so we can all fill in the know together. My rail. First one is this mini skirt with the Skims tee, super comfy, but doing it with the white cowboy boots, a little Nashville nod. And then the next outfit is the sheer tee, Sunny and sheer tee, with my lace long over the skirt, maxi skirt, with some fun purple boots. And then last outfit was barrel jeans with this cutie Free People strapless top. It has like boning in it, so really pretty. And then with some fun heels. I think that as of right now, it's a tie for 2 and 3, which is great. The first one was kind of like, if you live in Nashville, I don't know if you feel this way, but sometimes like you don't want to be in the cliche Nashville outfit because you just see it all the time. But sometimes I also just want to be on theme. So it's a struggle in my brain sometimes, but we'll do that later. And I'm just getting so excited. When you've bought like concert tickets a year in advance, you kind of forget and then you get excited. And today I did decide that I wasn't going to listen to any Jonas Brothers. I know the newest album, like what we're going to see, and I know they'll play other stuff, so I don't need to top up on knowing my lyrics. So I was like, you know what? I kind of just want to wait, and the first time I hear these songs again is like tonight. Ev and I were chatting about it, and there's like an argument for both sides. If it's a concert like a Metallica concert, and like you haven't listened to Metallica in a minute, like, and someone with like that much repertoire, like I would probably listen to. But anyways, let me know if y'all are the same way. I've also been listening to Taylor Swift's new album. I know it top to bottom, all the words. Done. I hadn't done that with one of her albums in a minute, since Midnight. Midnight was my favorite before this one because it came out on a birthday weekend, so it's like tied to a nostalgic memory for me. And I was like getting ready with one of my best friends and my sister, and so I just am tied to that album. So yeah, but let's go mix up our coffee. That's the creamer in the bottom. And go help Evan. Evan started a YouTube channel. So if your husbands are into guitar or sound engineering, send them over there. I'll link it below. He's killing it. So yeah, okay. I will check in when we're getting ready for the concert. Hi guys. It has been an afternoon. Ev and I had some success recording and then not. I'm still learning this camera and just like recording for different things. And so we had some frustrating with the focus and all that. So anyways, did that and then edited my reel that's going out tomorrow morning. And now it's time. It's time to see what outfit is winning on Instagram. My poll got deleted. I had to put it on my story. But everyone, I think, was loving the last one. No, now everyone's loving the middle one. Here they are, if you can see them. Everyone's loving this one. A lot of people were telling me this one. I think it's the people who know me are saying this bottom one, because that's such a Molly outfit. This is just like, oops, sorry guys. That too is just so fun as well and different, and I don't really dress like that a lot. Okay, I'm gonna go warm up our dinner and then start chugging water. I got a little bit of a headache, so I wanna feel good.